friends. I'm Sheree from the Monroe County Library System, and I have lots of great books to share with you for December, so let's get rolling. December has a lot of great celebrations that are celebrated here in the United States and all over the world. Most of you are probably familiar with Christmas, but we also celebrate Kwanzaa in America, which is an African American celebration based on African harvest principles. Then there is also the Festival of Hanukkah, a Jewish festival that happens usually in December. It's also called the Festival of Lights, and it celebrates the triumph and the miracle of the oil for the lamps lasting 8 days when there was only one night's worth of oil. So those three holidays are the big celebrations around the world in December. We have lots of books that celebrate traditions around the world. And one of my favorites is A World of Cookies for Santa. It's about how Christmas traditions happen around the world, different countries, how they celebrate, how they mark the Christmas holiday, and also includes a lot of recipes for making amazing cookies. One of my favorite books that I have just recently found is Red and Green, Blue and White. This is about a neighborhood where one friend's house celebrates Christmas and is decorated in red and green. Friend across the street celebrates Hanukkah and their house is decorated in blue and white and silver. One night the Jewish house is vandalized, and one by one, the other neighbors find out what has happened and begin to put symbols of Hanukkah in their houses too, to show support for their neighbor, and soon the whole neighborhood is lit up with the lights they share. I want to mention The Winter Candle. This fantastic book celebrates all of the December traditions in one. It talks about the light in each of several different apartments. One is celebrating Christmas, one is celebrating Kwanzaa, one is celebrating Hanukkah, and all of them feature a connection to the lights through a candle that is passed from apartment to apartment and brings all the neighbors together in their celebrations. Also want to mention Daddy Christmas and Hanukkah Mama. This is a family where Daddy celebrates Christmas, Mama celebrates Hanukkah, and so the whole family learns to celebrate together. And Winter Lights is a beautiful book of poems about all the different December holidays. Each one features some beautiful illustrations of quilts. And of course, you don't want to forget, how do dinosaurs say Happy Hanukkah? If you are interested in holiday books, we have holiday celebrations. We have books that celebrate all the different December holidays at the library. These are just the tip of the iceberg, so come in and check out all the rest of them. I wanted to mention one brand new book that came. This is called The Reading Adventure. There's 100 books to check out before you're 12. And what makes this book extra special is it's created by an organization called We Need Diverse Books. So this book features books that you might want to read with a description and sometimes an interview from the author of multicultural authors about multicultural kids. There are several that I have read, including New Kid, and I think I've shared that with a lot of you, Effering Divided, but there's so many more that I'm going to read on the recommendation of this book, because putting them all in one place made it so easy for me to find amazing and diverse books. Some of the new picture books that have come out that have to be talked about, I don't know if you've seen this one. This is Night Owl, and it's exactly what it says, the story of a brave little owl who becomes a knight in the most interesting way, building his strength as he goes. Lots of you have heard me read from John Klassen books. These are by Mac Barnett, illustrated by John Klassen. Sam and Dave Dig a Hole, the hat books. We found a hat. Have you seen my hat? Well, they're at it again, and Mac Barnett is retelling fairy tales. This is the Three Billy Goats Gruff. This is the first one in what will be a series. They are funny, they are gross. They are the story that you know from being a little kid, but with a serious twist. So I can't recommend that one enough. Also, in picture books, we are starting to see some of the most beautiful books of the year as we come closer to January, when the Caldecott Award will be given to the best illustrations in a kid's book. I think this one is going to be a top front runner. This is Farmhouse by Sophia Blackwell. Many of you have seen her books when I've read Finding Winnie or Hello Lighthouse. It's about a family that lives in a farmhouse and how they grow up and all the things that they leave in their house and that they do in their house, so that one day when the family grows up and is all gone, there is actually the author's experience of coming across the house long since abandoned and finding some of the amazing things that the family has left behind. Beautiful book. This is Lost, and who is lost and why they're lost and what happens and how they're found is part of the amazing story about a boy and his grandpa who set off to find a lost dog. Over here, this is another Christmas Around the World book, and Witch Hazel. This book looks very plain because it's brown and white and black, and that's about it, but the way those colors are used to tell this magical, magical story about a little girl's adventures is a gorgeous book and a fantastic story. One of the best books, chapter books that I've read in a long time is A Rover Story. For those of you that don't know, this is a Mars rover. They build them here on Earth. They send them out into space to land on Mars and roam around taking pictures and sending data back. This book is told from the robot's point of view, which makes them sound almost human, and I was so drawn into what was happening to them. Then I started looking around and realized we have lots of books. So this is a fiction book because it creates a story based on the science of rovers, but this is Red Rover, Curiosity on Mars, a story about real rovers that have been to Mars and the work that they're doing there. So if you like science or you're just looking for an amazing story about a wonderful adventure, that's it. I really feel like, and I'm going to be talking about this a lot, best book of the year may end up being Wild Oak. This is about a little girl in England in the 1960s who stutters when she speaks. In England, they call it a stammer. She has such trouble expressing herself that her dad has decided it's time for her to go to a special school, which really sounds like a terrible place. Her mom talks dad into letting the little girl go to stay with her grandfather in the country to see if they can figure out another plan. And while she's with him, she meets a very mysterious creature. No one quite believes her that this creature exists, and as she begins to unravel the mystery of how the creature got to be there, it is a fantastic story. If you like animals, if you like adventure, if you like a lot of action, Wild Oak is the story for you. I'll be talking about that one lots for a long time. This is the first rule for Climate Club, and it's about a 7th grade science class that instead of doing regular science, is going to explore their own ideas about climate change and what are the most important problems facing the Earth right now. As they begin to expand their research and they begin to do service projects in their community and they start to put their talents together, it kind of shows you not only the urgency of climate change issues, but what kids can do when they put their energy together. It was a great book. Everything by Gordon Corman is wonderful. This is his latest. It's called The Fort. It's about a group of 5 friends who have a pretty junky fort in the woods by their house when it's destroyed by a storm. The storm also happens to clear away a lot of debris that's covering the opening to a long ago built bomb shelter. When they figure out that this bomb shelter has never been touched and is complete with air and food and water, that becomes their new hideout, and they have to try to keep it secret from everybody around them. It's not a long book, but it is a great story, and each one of the kids that's in it, you also find out what their story is and what they're struggling with when they all come together in this fort. These are just some of the amazing titles that are available at the library this December for celebration, for holiday, for reading together, for reading in a snuggle up cozy spot when it's cold outside. We hope that you come and check out all these books and all the many more that are here. Have a great December. Bye-bye.